It was fun. BK's right. BK's right. Portland is a very odd city. I've been there 6 years, and I recently saw a decal on a car that said, "Proud parent of a BLM supporter." I'm confused, too. Portland's different than how I grew up. I grew up low income. I grew up in an area where we didn't have an ice cream truck. We had an ice cream man. And that ice cream man stole his ice cream from the local convenience store and put it in a red Igloo cooler. And how we knew he was coming is you'd play 50 Cent's Candy Shop. Like, I grew up in an area where we bought bootleg DVDs. If you aren't familiar with bootleg DVDs, sometimes a man would bring a camera into a theater and film the screen. And in 2003, I bought a copy of Spider-Man 2. And during that screening, a fight broke out in the theater. And the man operating the camera leaned over and said, "Looks like you got a 2-for-1." And so I had a lot of fun growing up that way. And we were a one-car household. I had just turned 16. I was playing basketball, and we had practice in the morning. I get up, and our car is missing. And so I walk the block. I'm like, maybe I parked it somewhere wrong. After about 10 minutes, like, nah, it's been stolen. And so I go inside, I wake my mom up. I'm like, "Hey, Mom, the car's been stolen." And she goes, "No, it hasn't." I was like, "You bet your sweet ass, come check it out." And so I bring her outside, and she's super dramatic, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's been possessed." And as a 16-year-old, I went, "What? Would a ghost want with a piece of shit 2006 Chrysler Pacifica?" And she's like, "You're an idiot. It's been repossessed." And I went, "Why would a ghost want it a second time?" Being 16 was tight, though. I remember staying up late and watching like late night TV, and we used to see those mesothelioma and asbestos ads. And I'm at the age now where I'm wondering when that's going to happen for my generation. Like, we're going to be scrolling on social media, and it's going to be like, "Have you or a loved one ever drank an Original 4 Loco in combination with a Crunchwrap Supreme?" It was fun, man. It was fun. I think the thing now is, like, I grew up, I got older, and I got married. And marriage is interesting because a lot of my young friends be like, "What is your advice for marriage?" I'm like, "Well, marriage is for quitters." Because think about it, right? In every marriage, you growing up, your partner had a celebrity crush, right? My wife loved Heath Ledger and Orlando Bloom. And I look like a rhythmically challenged Lionel Richie. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, as you get married, you do these serious things. So my wife, is like, be serious, go get a job. And so I live through my friends. And I had a friend who called me who was like, "Hey, Julian, I spent $350 on a prank." I was like, "You're a 30-year-old man. Tell me what you did." And what he did is he got a tintype photograph taken of himself. If you aren't familiar with tintype photography, he was using the 1800s and the 1900s with the big camera and that giant flash. And when that flash goes off, it takes a small portion of your soul, and that's why it's haunted. And what he did is he dressed up period specific as a Negro League baseball pitcher. And he got this printed out and put it onto a trading card, in which on the back he put Negro League World Series MVP, Negro League champion, and he's been leaving at different Goodwills and Salvation Armies for people to collect. And the funny thing about that friend is that's me. I've been doing that for a few weeks. You got to be childish, right? Because, like, when you get married, things get serious. But I realized I should have asked more important questions when I got married. I wish I would have asked, "What are your sleeping problems?" Because I suffer from insomnia and sleep paralysis, and she suffers from violent sleep talking and sleepwalking, which is like a match made in a posturepedic, if you ask me. And typically what triggers her sleep activity is what we watch before we go to bed, and we used to watch an old war documentary on HBO. And we went to bed. It took me 2 hours to fall asleep. I woke up 5 minutes later in this sleep paralysis fit. I can't move. My eyes are open, and I'm screaming in my head. And out of the corner of my eye, I see her sit up like she's been exercising, go, "Fire in the hole!" and pretend to throw a grenade. And shortly after, she goes, "Oh no, it's bounced back." And now I can see her look at the grenade, and then look at me, and then look at the grenade, and then look at me, and then throw herself off the bed. And now from our bedroom floor, I can hear her go, "Oh no, his limbs are everywhere." And at that point, I realize I've been dusted. And so she army crawls back into bed and whispers in my ear, "I always knew you would die a coward." And now I suffer from post-traumatic sleep disorder. Hey, y'all been groovy. My name is Julian. Get up for your host.